Thank you very much for tuning in for our first pre-match build-up of the new season. Yes, it is, well, the new season is pre-season, but a lot of games, a lot of football, and thank the Lord, Liverpool are playing football games yet again. I'm joined by two very special guests as well, two good friends of the channel, made up to get them both on for the new season. But gentlemen, thank you very much. Obviously, got months from the Big Six bands, obviously absolutely smashing it. Your channel link is in the description, mate. So please do head over, subscribe. He's making waves on YouTube, and quite rightly so for all the hard work. He's been absolutely smashing it. But Mons, thank you very much, mate. You had me on. Just shout out the video you just done with me, Jamie, and Savage there, mate.
Yeah, mad fun, man. Go check that out when you can. But first of all, make sure you like this video and let's just get talking Liverpool, man. I'm excited.
Big up, man. Reese as well, The Horizon, your social and links and everything are in the description, mate. But as I said, hopefully, Reese, you're hoping for a better season than last.
Fifth place is better than sixth, at least. We'll see. But hey ho, we'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah, big up,
Good to have me, man.
You're very welcome, mate. Both of you, as always, welcome on the channel. To get to all the lads in the comments as well. This is live, or if you are watching on the repeat, do drop in your comments anyway. Absolutely bloody legends. Subscribe here, but most importantly, subscribe to the guest channels as well and all their socials. But Mons, get straight into it. Obviously, expectations going to the new season. Your thoughts on really Nunes and Carvalho? How do you feel they will add to this coming year, mate? First time I've actually got your thoughts on the channel, mate. Do you think they'll hopefully potentially lead Liverpool on to greater success this season? And how do you see them getting implemented into pre-season plans as well?
I hate to be a pessimist, but Nunes is not replicating what Mane replicated. I'm just going to get that one out there. What Mane has brought to the channel, I love Mane to come to the channel, but yeah.
I wish we had him on our channel.
What Mane has brought, what has provided for Liverpool, unfortunately, I do not see Darwin quite replicating that. But what I would say is that Darwin's on his own journey. Not a massive fan of him myself as of yet. He's one of them players that I need to see play, and he needs to prove to me he's worthy of the Liverpool jersey. On top of all that, obviously, I was worried about the price tag, but it seems like we've recouped most of that money anyway. But I am very excited for Carvalho. As I said, less so for Nunes, but I understand that Klopp gets everyone for a specific reason. And regardless if I think he's a marquee key signing, perfect for the system, even if I don't directly see it yet, I'm happy to be wrong. I want to be proved wrong. Klopp's brought him in for a reason, so he's wearing the Liverpool top, so I will back him. 100% I'm going to back him, and I'm excited. I'm even though it's not a signing where I'd go, oh my God, any new signing, I'm like, yo, I can't wait to see this guy play. I can't wait. Do you know what I mean? And I'm very excited to see what Darwin Nunes can bring in a Liverpool kit. There was a lot of demand for him, but I hope he's able to sort of play his football in his own time and not feel like he has to go get 30 plus in order to be accepted into the Liverpool fan base. I think he needs to play his game, and I think he can bring big things. I think we'll see the real Darwin Nunes in season 2. Personally, that's my opinion. I think he's 22. As soon as he hits 24, I think he'll really adapt. If he doesn't have the greatest of season this year, don't quite slam the door in him just yet. I think there is something there. Well, you're on mute.
So I usually chat wham anyway. But Reese, obviously big up Jose as well, big up Jack Mac, no user legends anyway. Jamie Phillips, Jay's going in hard here, sorry. It's not fancy today, bloody hell, lad. Corey Nunes has got some blisters. Yeah, I think all of social media did lose the plot, and quite rightly, because when you spend all that money, but obviously it's common knowledge in terms of obviously pre-season preparation, new boots and all that as well. But evening, Steve, as well. Thank you both for tuning in, you absolute legends. But Reese, obviously, expectations for this pre-season anyway, most importantly, obviously getting Eric Ten Hag really trying to implement his philosophy and style on the pitch, really. But obviously going to the game tomorrow and the coming weeks, what are you most importantly hoping from this pre-season and implementing of potential new tactics and all that, or?
More or less. I mean, obviously, we spoke yesterday. We were on Owen's channel yesterday, which is absolutely brilliant. And I'm just going to mouth word for word really what I said. For me, tomorrow, like in pre-season, it's about energy. It's about how we play 1-2 touch play with the ball, how we move without the ball, by positioning. I want to see the wingers running around, like actually be more effective run. I want to see the fullbacks form a connection with the wingers, and I want to see a consistent back four. And I want to see us be able to push the ball forward. I watched the training videos today, actually, live from Bangkok in the stadium, and I'll be honest, I was actually very impressed with what I saw. I'm not going to get carried away straight away, though, because it was only the first, it's only day 3, but it's the last training session, obviously, before the friendly tomorrow. But I did like the work that I saw, and it was at least that it's starting to build, but it's still going to take time. It's not going to be like, oh, hey ho, we're going to be playing Dutch total football of 1974 like World Cup in West Germany, and we're totally going to do that within 3 days. No, it's going to take time. It's going to take a while. But the one thing that does matter, of course, is the players actually need to buy into it.
Yeah,
I was actually very impressed with training today. For example, the defensive drills, the defensive team conceded, you're forced to do push-ups. I like that. You don't do your job, you get forced to work even more. Love it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you there.
That's Sunday League stuff, though. That is Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't care. I like it, even though it's Sunday League stuff. It still translates to professional game for a reason. You should have that understanding. If you can't do your job properly, you'll be forced to do things to a different degree. So yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I think a couple of those Man United players do need a good slap over the head anyway after the last couple of seasons.
Nah, I wouldn't say slap. I'd say full on like Mike Tyson, like right.
Maybe
RKO. Yeah, I'm all right with that as well. Anything really, but I like what I've seen. But expectation really is, I don't expect us to win every single game because we're not. I just expect to see something translate from the training pitch onto the field and see where we go.
Yeah, and just quickly touch on the attitudes as well. Would you include that, Reece? Obviously, the attitudes for these Man United players over the last couple of seasons has been absolutely just shocking in the other centre.
Absolutely, it did look a lot better. I mean, players who have been questioned before, like Martial, like it was all smiles and hard work for him in training. The younger lads like Hannibal, Zidane Iqbal, Charlie Savage, Garnacho. It was great to see them showing like hard work. Rashford looked on point. He seemed up for it, which is key for us, I think, because we don't have a lot of attacking players really that are actually up to scratch, and we're going to need him. And Sancho as well. Like I think that's going to be our front three tomorrow. It looked genuinely like they were actually willing to work and they were listening to the manager and they were listening to the coaches. But the thing is, though, is you can listen on the training ground, but it's got to be done on the field. But I liked what I saw. But it's time for me. Like that's the key thing for me. It's time.
Yeah, 100% there, mate. And big up everyone in the comments as well. Make sure you do head over to Big Six Bands. The link is in the description anyway. To all the lads, obviously Monster's channel as well. You're welcome to drop it in the chat there. Obviously mods, if you can do that, please, that'd be very much appreciated as well. Absolute legends. But big up Savage, big up everyone inside, and big up Reece as well. To 99 Halloween costume as well.
This is 96 to 98.
Come on, guys. Reece is a good mate of mine. He won't be coming on the
channel You know what? To be fair, I am in enemy territory. I'm gonna let them have it. There's nothing I can really do about it. Bring it on. I can take it and I can dish it back. And Jack knows this. So
yes.
It's all banners. Bring it.
Yeah. Much love, man. Evening, lad, Gary. Absolutely bloody legends. Hope you have a good evening, mate, and everyone. I know, obviously, the heat for everyone in the UK has been a bit mad. We've not. It's been a bit cloudy today, but everyone's been absolutely bloody roasting. Reece, if United have a good pre-season and gel together, can they stay up this season? Bloody hell.
We're not as bad as Everton. We're not as bad as Everton. We'll be fine. I think we'll finish I think we'll be around 6th or 7th. To be honest, I don't. That's just a start, but we do need recruitment's key. Like we do need to get recruitment in. I don't think we're going to be in the top 4. I don't think we're going to be close. So it's purely for it'll be where we are really, like the Europa League and how we handle it.
Yeah,
that's all I genuinely think.
Thumbs up, man. Mons, obviously changing formation potentially in pre-season. What are you most intrigued to off the back of obviously last season, the disappointments, and obviously the Champions League and the Premier League, but in relation to obviously the pre-season preparation with the new players, as you've already alluded to, with Nunes and Carvalho, what's probably one of the biggest aspects that you're wanting to see Liverpool push on this season?
I'd say breaking down these low blocks. So I'm intrigued to see what the 4-2-3-1 can bring us. I'm intrigued to see Bobby in the 10. The way Klopp's speaking about him is like he's rejuvenated. You know, obviously this has kind of been like a blimp year for him in terms of injuries. Like this is the first season where he hasn't played over 32 games. So, you know what I mean, for Bobby, which is crazy, as he's always. But again, maybe that isn't a result of him being run into the ground. Maybe could be a result of that. But I'm glad he looks like he's back. Very excited to see Fabio Carvalho, who is naturally a 10, even though he plays off the left, naturally a 10. So that Liverpool haven't played with a 10 since Coutinho, and even Coutinho didn't play 10 because when we went to 4-3-3, Coutinho came out the 10 into left centre mid and left wing. So it's exciting to see a 10 play. We did go into 4-2-3-1 a little bit in 18-19 season when Shaqiri used to come in on the right, Salah would go up top, or Sturridge would go up top. 18-19 season, we went 4-2-3-1 a few times. We didn't have Thiago, we didn't have the luxury of Thiago back then. So even though we went and won the Champions League, it was a good. That 18-19 side was really a great watch, and I think probably one of the best balance in terms of defense and attack. That year was very good, very balanced. But I remember thinking that 4-2-3-1 was a little bit bland. I don't know, but maybe because we weren't used to playing it and Klopp would just randomly just throw out the 4-2-3-1 sometimes. It did feel a bit bland sometimes. So now, and that was with the best Bobby we had. Yeah. So with a slightly more aging Bobby and a few more youngsters coming in, you can play the 10. I'm very intrigued as to see if is it going to be the same 4-2-3-1 we saw in 18-19, or is it going to be more of a rejuvenated, different type of playing patterns? Obviously, now you're going to have Thiago and Fabinho playing in the DM role with a 4-2-3-1, rather, as opposed to Wijnaldum, who's 5 ball roles before he plays it forward. Or as good as Wijnaldum was, he'd love to just look left. It's like he was crossing the road and he didn't know which side it was this, and then he'd maybe pass it forward. So so rather than having Henderson and Wijnaldum or Fabinho and Wijnaldum, you have Thiago in there now in that double in that pivot behind the front four. So I don't think it will be the same boring old 4-2-3-1. So that's what I think Klopp's going to really try out this formation in preseason quite a lot, and he's going to now. I think he's finally taking his stubborn hat off, as all world-class managers are, extremely stubborn in their style. Remember, world-class managers do not have a plan B. They have plan A, and if plan A doesn't work, you find a way to improve plan A. Yeah. There is no plan B or C. You just keep trying to improve plan A until the team can't handle it anymore. So maybe Klopp's realizing how things went down at Dortmund, and I think he's going all right. Maybe I need to come out of my comfort zone a little bit and try something different, as maybe we would have got over the line if we changed something in that cup final.
100%, mate. Absolutely spot on. Get to all your comments as well. Nunes, Nunes makes 4-3-3 more effective and less predictable. Would you go on top of that? What Gary's had to say there, Mons? Obviously, we've just been speaking in your show, but interesting.
I wouldn't say more effective. I think it's more of an unknown commodity. So it's like people don't know what to expect from him. So until then, that's an advantage. Yeah. You know what I mean? It gets difficult when people go, oh, right, if we give him space, he's going to score 25 plus. Now see how you play. That's the difference. That's why I said Salah and Mane are a different breed. They said they saw Salah and go, right, if we leave him on his own, he's going to get 44 goals again. He still went and got 29 the next year. Mane, they put double. They had to go and put. As soon as they took men off him, he went and he got a golden boot with Salah. You know what I mean? That's the difference. And people understand how you play, and they still can't stop you. That is when I put you in that category. And maybe Darwin Núñez can get there, but it's unknown for now, so he needs to strive off that.
Yeah. Absolutely spot on. Reece, obviously, personnel for Manchester United is going to be key. In reality, 100%. Obviously playing a Ten Hag, obviously the laughable nature of obviously Man United, they're not getting Frankie de Jong over the line. But how big of a role do you potentially see Donny van der Beek, especially playing under Ten Hag as he did in that Ajax system? Do you think he's probably one of the biggest players from Manchester United going into this season, and the potential years to come if he does develop in that system?
I think the fact that he's persisted this whole time not being played as much, wasn't really lucky at Everton, but now he's playing under a manager that knows how to use him. He fits the bill, fits the style. It's going to work for him, really. So I think he will be one of the key ones, but it's only key if we get Frankie de Jong in, because we need that deep playmaker. We need somebody who can pick the lines up from the deep positions and carry it forward. But I still think he will have a point to prove. He will still have something to show in the midfield, especially around the spaces that you can find. Like very tight, acute spaces, something he's really good at, and he latched on really well. Like the goal against Spurs in the Champions League semi-finals is a perfect example of that. Any bit of space he can get onto, he can latch on, he can score, and he'll have that role play. And we're going to play the same system as you. Like our first year and a half, we're going to play the 4-2-3-1. Then we'll transition to 4-3-3. But at the moment, for us, it's about getting runners in based on the midfield, but also be able to play it forward. He will be key, though. I think you'll see him at times playing the 10 role, but the moment we'll see him playing in the double pivot as well.
100%, mate. Interesting times. It's Mons, what do you think of we'll have to speak about him, Cristiano Ronaldo. We cannot speak about. Do you think that would be a massive distraction for Manchester United potentially? Obviously, Ten Hag getting his plans over in the next couple of weeks, but in terms of his off the field antics, do you potentially see that filtering onto the pitch and in terms of Eric's tactics?
First of all, it's Man United, so whatever happens in the off the pitch is going to be magnified 10 times over because it's Man United. I don't actually think Ronaldo's kicking up as much as things everyone thinks. He's probably just gone in, said one thing, and because it's Man United, it's made the whole news, and it's big club syndrome. As much as I hate to admit it, it's big club syndrome. Something happens, everyone's talking about it. It makes it seem 100 times worse than it is. I think same as I said, same with Salah. Liverpool, I think, were very relaxed about the situation, which is why the fans were so frustrated. But these man, Salah was on the beach. He was on the beach in front of a sunset, while everyone else is in hysterics. It's magnified, and that's why, as I said, Sterling's gone to Chelsea, and everyone's commending City and Chelsea for it because City on a big club. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? We lost Mane. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Liverpool lost Mane. Oh, crazy." Let's say Liverpool are going to finish fourth. Again, I'll say again, City have lost Sterling, their 10th best goal scorer of all time at the age of 27. Everyone's like, "Oh, maybe it wasn't good enough." Oh, when your team isn't big enough, I'm going to say here and now, people ignore your deficiencies. When your deficiencies are magnified worse than they are, it's a reflection of how big your club is. So again, and I feel it was down to the Ronaldo stuff. He's probably just said he wants to leave. He's not too happy about where the club is. He has every right to say so. Why is it such a big deal? Because it's Ronaldo and because it's Manchester United. Will it filter onto the pitch? If Eric Ten Hag allows it to, then yes. But if he shows the desire and shows the rigid and sturdiness of his game of what he's done at Ajax, then I don't think it will. I think every player right now has a fresh piece of it's a blank sheet right now. You can show who you are and what you can bring to that Man United team, and this is your opportunity to get back in the team. For the players who might have been left out, this is your chance to be brought back in. Do you want to get sold or do you want to stay? Do you want to be part of the project or do you want to be part of the yard sale? What do you want? Do you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I think most of the players want to be part of the yard sale because they don't know what it's like to. Again, a lot of players in today's game, they don't know how heavy the Man United badge weighs. They're not worthy of the Man United badge, not fit to wear that top. There is not one player in that Manchester United team at the moment that I think is fit to wear that Manchester United badge. I would have said Rashford 2 years ago, but he's become a dinner lady, so I can't even speak for him anymore. So,
you're spot on.
That's kind of that's kind of my opinion on that. I think if they want to let it happen, then it's only going to get worse for Manchester United. But I think they've sunk as low as they can go already. So I guess maybe the only way is up. But the preseason is less pressure.
We love it, Mons. Anyway, we love it. We all love it. Sorry,
we'll see you lot back in like a Roy Hodgson 2.0 like. The next decade.
It's all right, I've seen over the last couple of weeks Man United fans singing Blue Moon, so that's what time to come to.
That was my logical. That was my logical one, by the way. That wasn't Montel hates Man United once, but that was me being objective.
So you were spot on though. Like I do agree with you.
I was going to say, Reece, you follow up as well. Monster's absolutely spot on. In your point of view as well, it's not going to be helpful, is it? But no player is that bigger for any football club, regardless if it's Liverpool, United, Real, Barca. Yeah. But what's your feelings on this, Reece? Has he got a year left on his contract? If he's was to stay, yeah. So it's going to be intriguing to see how this does develop. But regardless of Ronaldo, obviously Rashford and Sancho, obviously the video that you did mention before, made it obviously Rashford providing a cross and getting an assist in training. Certainly didn't do much of last season in the Premier League. But do you think those, as you said, you're a bit light in the attacking areas for this season? But how do you see that the attacking sense of Manchester United in pre-season or going forward as well? Is there any youngsters coming through that potentially could help? Or
well, there's a fair few. I mean, obviously Elanga was around last year, but he was overused. Like he needs to be brought back just a little bit. Don't want him overused. You've got Garnacho, who was the star of the Youth Cup final. He was absolutely phenomenal. There's Joe Hugo, there's Charlie McNeil, but I don't want to just invest all the energy into the youth players. It's not going to do us any favours just playing all the youth. We need to bring in some ready-made experienced players. Like it doesn't have to be like 26, 27-year-olds, even if it's like players are like 23, 24, you want to build the team with, that's fine. But I agree in terms of like Rashford and Sancho, they need to buck their weight. Martial needs to buck his weight as well. Like all three of them in a collective. Like I'm not holding one over the other, as some fans do over social media. It's a collective. Like if this is going to be the front three in the game tomorrow, I expect all three of them to pull their weight. But it does come down to where we go forwards. We are. This is the lowest we've been in a very long time. Very long time. But it's not just on the pitch as well, it's off the pitch. Like we've got like the owner situations, the shambles are still taking money out when they get the chance. I'm not too keen on Myrtle. Like I don't know, like he's in Spain right now. He's probably going to lose this deal with De Jong anyway. But I'm not fully convinced by him yet. I still need to see if he's actually going to be a shrewd negotiator. Is he actually going to get deals over the line? I don't know. Like Eriksen was supposed to be announced last week. It looks like it's going to be probably after we get beat tomorrow. Like
I can't believe that's not being announced as well, mate. And obviously Bruno, it's
ridiculous.
What do you know why it is, Reece? Or is it just a case of his heart? Obviously, the medical taking a bit longer.
Yeah, it's just they're not 100% sure like what his heart's going to be. So they're trying to make a full medical in one day, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But if you're going to do it all in one day, at least space it out. They expect him to do it all within like a couple of hours and then boom, sign the contract. He's already been, him and his lawyer have already got the contract. I wouldn't be surprised if he went, I'm staying at Brentford.
Especially when United were quite happily to give Paul Pogba like 300, 400k a week. Like you'd think at least give Eriksen about 100k anyway.
Yeah,
but
I think he's a brilliant signing though. If we do manage to get him in, like he's the type of player we need. Like we need somebody who can, as I said earlier on, somebody who can play the ball from deep, but can also play in multiple positions. Who is a grafter, but he's also a very good technical player. And his experience, like the fact that he nearly died playing in the field, like it was
mad.
That's something that not many players are really going to understand. And that sort of experience where literally you can, like any excuse, like sorry for my language, but bullshit your ability, bullshit your play. He can go, well, I died trying to get my country to where we got last year in the Euros. We got to semi-finals. You can't argue that. Like I don't think any football player could argue like with Eriksen's contribution, and it's a reflection of where we are. Like we are that far back. We are having to rebuild again, and it's just a strong reflection that United are so bad.
Yeah, that's 100%, man. It's gonna be mad. We'll all enjoy it from an outside point of view, but not just you. Yeah, not just Man United, even Chelsea as well. Speaking to Mons on his show, big up everyone. Make sure you head over there. And we're speaking obviously the pretenders last season in Chelsea, and obviously Man United with their signings. Now they propelled them, and they didn't really back it up at the end of the year. But Mons, in terms of Mohamed Salah, I haven't spoke to you obviously on the channel in terms of off the back of that. Signing, it has give Liverpool a lot of confidence, and most importantly, it dispelled quite a lot of the rumours and a lot of the talk outside the club as well. Do you think this will give Liverpool a massive boost going to this year in terms of obviously keeping Salah tied down and potentially attracting players in the long term?
Just one less thing on his mind. I think AFCON was enough. The contract is another thing on his mind. It's just I think with players like that, keep them happy. Keep their mind as fresh as possible. The less mental barriers, the better for him, because he's not coming off of a good end to the season. He might have had one of his best seasons for Liverpool, but I'm a strong believer of the form you finish the season in is the form you're most likely to head into the new season in. So that's why, when Chelsea won the Champions League, when everyone was saying they're going to win the league next season after they bought in Lukaku, I said, well, actually, no. They needed Tottenham to beat Leicester in order to finish fourth. Remember that. Liverpool, we had our worst season in how long? No centre-backs, and we managed to pip third off a Chelsea side that just won the Champions League. They struggled. They got smacked by Villa. They absolutely, by the skin of their teeth, by Tottenham. They needed Tottenham to go and get that fourth spot in that season. And when they went into last season, the crack showed. Of course, they had things going off the pitch, but the crack showed because when you finish a season, I generally think it carries on to next season. And luckily, Salah actually picked up his performances in the last 4 or 5 games for Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think 4 or 5 games before that, I would have been worried. Even with the contract, I would have been like, maybe, not too sure. But he gets to go on final day. He plays well in the semi-final. He gets the assist. He gets 2 assists in the semi-final. And he plays all right the game before that. So, and now we signed the contract. So again, it's a positive on positive on positive. As I said, taking out the mental stuff out of his mind, the mental blocks. And I think that's all it is. Salah is he's a golden, no worries, bro. He's a golden generation type of player. He's 5 elite seasons, man. How many elite seasons did Fernando Torres give us? 2. How many elite seasons did Luis Suarez give us? 2.5. How many elite seasons has Mohamed Salah given us? 5.
Wow, yeah.
That shows. Give the man his money. We are not accountants. Our money does not go to Liverpool unless we are buying kits 24/7. Do you know what I'm saying? This is not my money. Give him the money. I'm not saying destroy the wage structure just for him, but when I say Salah deserves that money, I also mean Van Dijk also deserves that money. Alisson deserves that money. Fabinho deserves that money, and Robert deserves that money. Just because I say Salah deserves the money that Manchester United players are receiving, doesn't mean Van Dijk, Alisson, and the other boys don't deserve that either. So when I say give him the money, I don't mean destroy the wage structure. I mean evolve the wage structure. So players can think that they can come into Liverpool. World-class players can look at Liverpool and go, all right, if I put on a world-class display of the player that I am, I know Liverpool are going to offer me the money I deserve. So it's a statement to the other clubs, that to other players, that they can come to Liverpool and earn the money that they believe they deserve. You're not going to go to Liverpool and I can score 30 goals 3 seasons in a row and they're only going to offer me 200k. They're not going to think that anymore because we finally given someone that money. Even though it took 5 elite seasons to do so, you better late than never. So I think Salah can go into the season and that new contract is one less thing on his mind, and we can use that to go forward.
Spot on, man. Reece, from an outside point of view, as much as I hate you, what's the most impressive thing about this Liverpool team from an outside point of view? Obviously, we are quite privileged to watch them week in, week out, but do you think that was a massive statement by Liverpool in terms of keeping? Because that was one thing that was labelled Liverpool not offering big wages, as Mon's absolutely hit the nail on the head in terms of we needed to change with the times in reality, and we've done that. What really impresses you about this Liverpool cog, and obviously the wheel and everything?
I think it's more just probably the best way to describe them is relentless. It's just a relentless machine, and it's how you play. It's continued to develop over since Klopp came in. His 6th season now? Six.
It's gone over quite quick, anyways.
It's continued to mold year on year. He's continued to expand his style. It's not a typical gegenpressing German type team anymore. The year when he's won the league in the COVID season, he's barely played that system. You played long ball. Totally different. Anti-Klopp. That's completely anti-Klopp. Playing long ball football, that ain't his style. But it was a well-oiled machine, and you pressed when you had to retrieve the ball, and then immediately it was long ball over the top to Salah or Mane. It was a different way of playing over the ball compared to a Sam Allardyce, which is long ball and just hope for the best like a Brexit fan. It's never going to get anywhere. And then last season, when last season finishing second, you went back to the style from the year beforehand when you reached the Champions League final, when you won it. Didn't go with the long ball. You went more direct, the pressing through the middle, or using the width. Barely used a long ball unless you really had to. And it showed by the fact getting to the Champions League. If you want to win the league, you play long ball. By the looks of it, that's Liverpool's way. And if you want to reach Champions League finals, you play the gegenpress. Klopp's clearly mental. We already know that. He's clearly mental. But he has a different approach year on year. And I think as a team, they're well-oiled, they're drilled. And as I said before, it's relentless. The points tally is a reflection of that. And I said yesterday, bullish, and I'm confident neither Man City nor Liverpool will get above 95 points next season. It'll be about 91, 92. I'm still standing by that. But it's because of the quality around the league. It's going to be more money invested, which will challenge Liverpool and City. There'll be games where Liverpool and City will draw more. All games where you think Liverpool or Man City will go and batter these teams, then they actually lose a game. But you'll see that. But you'll just see them ticking on and keep going, and the pressure. I don't think Guardiola and Klopp, or even your team in general, I don't think you feel pressure as much because you seem to adapt really well to the opposition. But yeah, probably the best way just to describe it is relentless. And I agree about the wage thing. My only disagreement with wages is young players. In terms of like young players nowadays are getting like 100 grand just to come from the under 23s to the first team within a week, and then they're on 150 grand a week contracts. And that for me is wrong. But for senior established players that have worked hard, they should be on the money they deserve. I think the best, I can't stand, as Anfield Larks put it, the blue oil plastic scumbags. I can't stand them just as much as Liverpool. But with Liverpool, you have a structure in place for your money, and I get that. That's fine. City is tiered. Like De Bruyne, Haaland, like they're their top earners. Sterling was a second tier. And I think Liverpool need to be the same in a way. I think you need to have a tier list where arguably your best player is Van Dijk. He should be your highest earner, in my opinion. Then Salah. But Salah, from a creative aspect and from a goal scoring aspect, he is your best player. Although last season, I believe your best player was Sadio Mane. He should be up there for numbers wise. Yeah. I would say numbers wise, like on that perspective. But in terms of like money wise, Salah getting what he deserves is right. But I agree with what Mont said about taking advantage, and obviously Liverpool need to be careful of that because you go to Barcelona, like if you're half as finished as Antoine Griezmann, you get 150 grand a week. I wouldn't mind some of that. I'd be off living in the Bahamas right now. But in his case, you can go to Barcelona, they're about to get liquidated, hopefully, but you still make all that money. You come to a serious run club like a Bayern Munich or Liverpool or a Man City, even though they're absolute twats. They will bracket what you earn. So a senior player, I agree, but if you're a young player, you don't deserve all that money. But because you've not earned it, you've not done anything in the game. But yeah, Salah does deserve his money. He is a brilliant player. I'll give him that. Compared to what I saw at Chelsea at the start of the decade, last decade, he's come on leaps and bounds. And yeah, he does deserve the money. But I'm going to say on the limb, he shouldn't be making more money than Van Dijk, though.
Yeah, spot on there, mate. Mons, you got to shoot, mate. But firstly, mate, I really do appreciate you coming on. Absolute legend. First time on the show. Hopefully, we're gonna have an exciting season, and we'll be getting you on very soon, mate. Especially if we if we don't sign someone in the window, me and you can rant anyway. Big up, man. Thank you very much for coming on. Just shout out your channel, mate, and what obviously shows you got coming up.
First of all, yeah, thanks for having me on. As I said, next time I jump on, obviously I'll be able to speak more and stay on for the whole hour or however long the show is running. Obviously, it was good to meet you as well, bro. As well, I think you're very sound-headed Manchester United fan. To be fair, from what I've seen so far, so it's good to meet you. Hopefully, I'll drop me your social as well, and I'll drop a subscribe to you. So all that stuff.
My Twitter and my YouTube is literally the same thing.
Yeah. If I drop it in the private chat, and I'll subscribe and stuff, I'll shout that out. But yeah, no, Big Six Bants is there. It should be just there. Big Six Bants. Toxic football channel. Not so toxic right now because there's transfers and concept videos. But as soon as the season gets started, in fact, it's preseason tomorrow, so it's about to get toxic on tomorrow, to be honest. So if you like that sort of stuff, it's neutral. It's a little bit Liverpool heavy because I own the channel, but ignore that. If you're not a Liverpool fan, come and make it unbiased. And enjoy a great channel. I think it's a good upcoming channel, and I think you got people.
Yeah, big up, man. Thank you very much for taking out the time tonight, mate. And you've been very busy, so I appreciate it. And look after yourself, mate. And I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers. Take care.
See you later, matey. You're welcome, mate. And obviously, that's Monster's channel there in the comments, everyone. So please do head over, subscribe. As I said, he's absolutely bloody smashing it, and you've been very busy over the last couple of weeks. And I made up to get him on finally. Aye, he's a good lad, man. But Reese, just me and you now as well in terms of obviously Manchester United. We spoke about Ronaldo, and as you lads were speaking, I bloody somehow managed to spill all my water. I nearly went all over my phone, so it always happens when I'm live. Well, in terms of get to all the lads' comments as well. I'm more expecting them and obviously achieving the blue points plastics 100% there, the Anfield Lark as well. Salah, we both scored it and provided this season 100% there. Gary, obviously Philip again third as well, mate. Klopp will want to win the league, most importantly as well. But Reece, we spoke about obviously Ronaldo, obviously Erik ten Hag implementing his tactics really. What team do you potentially see Manchester United fielding tomorrow? I know pre-season games are quite heavily rotated, but are you hoping that he just kind of go a bit stronger? Is it more or less like all the players have arrived in Malaysia for Manchester United?
Pretty much everyone is there, yeah. The only one that's not there obviously is Ronaldo and Eriksen, because he's not announced yet. So yeah, everyone is practically there, and I'm hoping we go strong. I think Liverpool will play a strong team against us tomorrow, and we should do the same, really.
Yeah, absolute legend, mate. As I said, probably end the show very, very in a little second anyway. But Reese, thank you very much for coming on, mate. I really do appreciate it. As I said, you're well. I get the link. Well, I'll put it in the description anyway. But I'll put it in the chat anyway. But if you haven't already done so, head over to obviously Monch channel as well. The link is in the description. And obviously, Reese, just shout out your obviously socials, mate. And obviously, you do quite a lot of gaming as well, don't you, mate? I'll put that in the chat very soon, mate. Just shout out your content, mate.
Yes, so my Twitter and my YouTube channel is the exact same, Devil's Rising with a 1. I go on other channels like this and talk football, but my channel, as Jack said, is gaming. I don't want to bring I don't want to bring football related content to my channel. I don't mind talking about it when I'm playing, when I'm gaming, but purely for the sense that it does get very heated at times when you're just chatting football, and I'd rather if I'm chatting the game and stuff, I get my live chat bounces off that and it's good fun, but you never know what you're gonna get really with football created content. It can be hit and miss, and I prefer gaming. I like going on other channels like this or Doug's channel or etc. where it feels more geared towards that, and it feels more easier for me. My channel's geared towards gaming, and that's what I'm gonna stick to. I might change it up now and then, but gaming for me, and it's the exact same Devil's Rising on YouTube and Twitter. Thank you
as well. Appreciate it, mate. I will be making a tweet with you a month anyway on socials. So if you obviously don't follow each other, link isn't bloody hell. Sorry, mods. Typical me with me bloody butterfingers. I did put it in there, but obviously I'm gonna have still got it up. Where's Reese's channel? I'll get Reese's social anyway. There we go. That's just socials there, months and chat anyway. But Reece, I'm excited, obviously, for a Liverpool point of view as well, pre-season. But please do head over, subscribe to Reece's socials as well. His Twitter and everything is in, there it is.
You can find all my editing stuff as well on there as well. So
yeah, obviously Devil's Rising and obviously Months his channel link. Well, it is in the chat anyway, so please do head over. And I'm a rookie so half of this stuff, so apologies everyone. But all the lads will be creating a post. But Reece, most importantly, and obviously shout out to Monts as well. Really do appreciate both of you lads for jumping on. It's going to be hopefully an exciting season for the Reds. Most importantly, obviously not the red half of Manchester anyway, as well. But big up to the lads, and most importantly, thank you to every single one of you that are tuning in as well. Look after yourselves. Yeah. And thank you very much, Reece, and a massive thank you to Mons as well for jumping on. But as always, Reds, you'll never walk alone, and I'll see you very soon. We'll have a live stream watch along for tomorrow, and potentially go get Reece on the post match if we absolutely batter them like 10-0.
I'm off until the 20th, so I am around. So I've actually taken 7 days off work. So yeah, I'm around for this.
Oh, so that's all right. Well, I'm bigging this up, and you'll probably beat us or something. But thank you very much, Reece. Thank you, chat, and big up Monster as well. Look after yourselves, everyone. And as I said, it's going to be an exciting season ahead, and tomorrow is the start of when it all does happen. But see you later, everyone.